Good afternoon, I'm Sheila Brummer with Siouxland Public Media News. Another Iowan has been sentenced to serve time in prison for participating in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. 38-year-old Kyle Young of Redfield was ordered to spend more than 7 years in jail after pleading guilty to assaulting an officer who was trying to stop the mob from getting into the building. Young's sentence is the longest so far handed to any of the 8 Iowans charged with crimes from the Capitol insurrection. A Sioux City man has been arrested and charged after a pursuit with authorities after a shooting in Morningside early this morning. Officers chased a vehicle believed to be connected to the incident and took the driver into custody in Sergeant Bluff. The passenger got away. Siouxland News CBS 14 Fox 44 reports the driver, 19-year-old Jordan Hills, faces several charges. The motive for the shooting a few blocks from East Middle around 4 a.m. is still under investigation. Authorities say the person who lived at the home hit by gunfire is providing limited cooperation. One person has died after a crash of a small helicopter southeast of Yankton, South Dakota. First responders say it happened just before 10 a.m. And Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds has announced the state of Iowa has nearly a $1.9 billion budget surplus. That's as the state prepares to close the books this week for the last fiscal year that ended on June 30th. The state budget in the last fiscal year was a little over $8 billion. It's a much larger budget surplus than state officials initially projected, and a boost in corporate tax revenue is triggering a corporate tax cut that will take effect next year. A judge has struck down a state law that enhanced the penalty for trespassing at an ag-related business if the person who took pictures or recorded video that was shared. Animal welfare groups had sued the state over the law aimed at those who have used undercover video of livestock confinements and dog breeding facilities to allege the animals were being mistreated. 2 previous state laws with the same goal had been blocked by federal courts. Critics say the laws could be used to shield unsafe working conditions or animal neglect. Supporters of the law say farmers are being smeared and hurt financially by unfounded accusations. And farmers used dry weather to move into full harvest mode last week. The USDA says 5% of the statewide corn harvest is now complete, which is 5 days behind last year and 1 day behind the 5-year average. The corn condition remains 64% good to excellent. The report says 7% of the soybeans are in the bin. That is 4 days behind last year and 3 days behind the average. The soybean condition was rated 62% good to excellent. And a World War II Army veteran from Buena Vista County was honored with a special set of medals on Monday. Several of Stanley Peterson's family members were on hand for the presentation, led by U.S. Senator Joni Ernst. Peterson, who is a native of Alta, was given the Good Conduct Medal, the World War II Victory Medal, and the Honorable Service Lapel Button. Stanley, who will soon turn 100 years old, joined the Army in 1992 as a corporal and served until 1946. He was trained as an aircraft mechanic. And Sioux City's Women Aware has named a new executive director. Flora Lee spent 20 years with the Northwest Area Education Agency. She also spent a dozen years on the Sioux City School Board. For Siouxland Public Media News, I'm Sheila Brummer.